Do you think they're going to carry forward the replacer skin from Black Ops 6? Because there's so many of them, and they just actually released a new one recently for the Haunting. So it'd be odd if they're like, here's another replacer bundle for BO7, but then you don't get your skins from the previous game. Or is like Terry Crews about to be an operator skin in BO7? I just want to remind people as well, like the replacers collabed with a lot of different properties. He's been in a lot of different commercials. He's been on podcasts. That did not mean that who he collabed with was going to automatically become a playable skin in Call of Duty. Just to remind, I know you put a tweet about this yesterday. Like he did a piece with like Canelo, with Anderson Silva. He did one with like the Venom movie. He did something. He did a bunch of podcast cameos last year too. So replacement marketing doesn't even mean operator skin. But what do you think? Are we gonna get a Jake Paul operator in Black Ops 7?
Well, I think, evidently not. But I think yesterday a lot of people were getting upset about that because it did appear that he was in like the initial trailer they put out. Obviously that was confirmed today, but in that trailer he literally gets thrown out of a spaceship, and the other character says he died. You just killed Jake Paul.
Yep.
So maybe that was their own version of like, yeah, we're throwing this stuff out. We're not doing this. That's the way, at least the way I looked at it. That this stuff is sort of getting discarded, but the replacer is always like a fun fourth wall breaking sort of meta, very in tune with the current times and culture marketing scheme. Like it's cool.
Always.
And everyone loved it last year, and now all of a sudden there's a problem with them doing the exact same thing. Like people loved it last year,
right?
People ate it up. And now all of a sudden it means, why is Call of Duty doing this? And I saw a lot of tweets today from multiple people saying like, I have no idea how this involves Call of Duty. And it's like,
or am I supposed to be excited to buy the game because of this? Like I saw so many comments, bro. It's
the replacer stuff has never involved Call of Duty at all. The entire premise of it is that this guy is replacing your job while you are playing the game. That is the premise of it. And that premise has been carried forward, for lack of a better term, to Black Ops 7, where, for example, in this scenario, the replacer took over an astronaut captain pilot's job going into outer space, going to Mars. Again, another meta fourth wall breaking thing based on our current reality of we're trying to inhabit Mars, whatever. But the pilot wanted to play Black Ops 7, so he called the replacer, and now they're all stuck in space. And then that led to the replacers coming out, Terry Crews and Nikki Glazer, or Glazer, I actually don't know. But so I see a lot of people, like multiple people, being like, well, how does this even relate to Call of Duty? And I'm like, how it relates to Call of Duty. Like it never did relate to Call of Duty. It never was gameplay trailers. It never was a blog. It was always, a character, the replacer replacing people's jobs. And that's always what it was while you were playing Black Ops 7. That is the entire premise. That is how it relates. Just because there's not Call of Duty gameplay in it does not mean it's not related to Call of Duty.
Well, it's one thing to say that they don't like the direction of like the story in the trailer. They weren't a fan of the cameos. Like it's one thing to say that, but then to go a different angle of like, what is this? And I'm like, well, we had the replacers since like Black Ops 2. They skipped out on Cold War, but it's always kind of been a part of the fun marketing and the build up to the launch of a new game. I was actually shocked, and I mentioned this like probably a few episodes ago. I was actually shocked that we didn't get replacer marketing yet for Black Ops 7. I'm like, did they go all out and max their budget out for BO6? The inferior game here compared to how big BO7 is going to be. I'm like, what's going on here? So I'm happy to see that they brought this back in. I always think they're fun, little like goofy live action trailers. I love some good Call of Duty live action, some good live action TV spots. It's always fun to see, like when you're watching like a basketball or a football game and it comes on, like it's cool. I'm kind of confused on like how we're at that stage now on the internet. The internet's a weird place, but we're at that stage where people are like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I even see.
What
I
fucking
even see
timeline
like,
are we in?
I see Call of Duty people involved in the Call of Duty community are confused on how it relates, and it's like, are we just purposely blocking stuff out of our mind of how it relates? Like I don't know. Like I really don't understand.
I'm very confused on like the reception of that, because what I don't want to happen is like they start seeing some of this feedback today and they're like, you know what, we're gonna just get rid of the replacer forever now. You'll never see him again in like a Call of Duty promo or something. Like that's weird. He was playable in Blackout. He's playable again universally in Black Ops 6. So I guess we'll see what this means for BO7 or not, because maybe they'll be like, hey, you got to rebuy him. People are gonna be pissed about that. People would be pissed about that.
Yeah, and I saw a conversation around it yesterday on that tweet they put out. I said, you know, carry forward the replacer operator for BO7, because you know it makes sense. It's whatever. And I saw some people being like, no, Activision wants you to resell. Activision wants to resell the same bundle with you. And I'm like, we had this pro-consumer system in place carry forward, so this doesn't happen. So they're not re-adding weapons that were just added. So they're not re-adding bundles that were just added. We had this in place, and probably the same people saying like, oh, they want to resell you the same skin, or the same people that were advocating for carry forward to get completely canceled.
They're clapping their hands like this, dude. The seals are clapping their hands for cancellations.
Yeah, so carry forward gets canceled, and now they're like, oh, you know, they want to. So now I never mind. I articulated what I wanted to perfectly with that. I'm gonna stop with that. But I think that's so hilarious that it's almost like a hate comment to COD being like, oh, now you're just gonna resell them after you probably advocated for carry forward to get canceled, so we wouldn't have to rebuy it again in the first place.
But they haven't confirmed yet if the replacer will be playable in Black Ops 7. Like they're not ready to talk about that yet. They haven't even gone into like the new endowment tracer bundle yet, for which is going to release at launch. So I'm sure if like the replacer was a preseason bundle, which I think he was in BO6, it was a preseason update, right? It wasn't season 1. That was considered the first like collab. But you know what? We're gonna end up getting a Labubu collab. Labubu charm, Labubu finishing move pet is probably coming to Black Ops 7. We'll see if people complain about that one. Are people gonna complain about that?
I mean, I wouldn't be a fan. I would be like, yeah, you know, like, come on, what's going on here? But
sure.
Again, that it's you know, that's a very popular thing, you know, cringe or not. If I were to have a say, I'd probably say don't add it, but it's the same thing with like, you know, having Jake Paul in a trailer. You know, he's pretty, you know, relevant, especially in the boxing scene.
Right.
You know, and I think a lot of people, you know, and obviously I'm still, including myself, still sort of see that, you know, that vlog thing, you know, that vlog content he did back in the day and that sort of thing. And that's how I see him. But, you know, definitely not a choice I would have made to put him in the trailer.
I agree. I agree. It was very, very controversial. But I'll tell you what's really ironic is that the replacer trailer has to do with a spaceship going to space. What are the odds that on the same day they unveiled new replacer marketing that has to do with that? They showed us DLC 1 for Black Ops 7 Zombies, which also seems to be that rumored space station map that Insider Gaming reported on last year.